Do the old classic
Yeah.
TV shows.
Hello guys, welcome back to Beyond the Horrors Ball. Once again, we are talking about...
Are we on?
Yeah, we are on.
Shit.
Yeah, and we were on right there when you were talking about...
I figured we were.
See, we were talking about having a remote to where I wouldn't have to lean up and push the button here on the iPad, but you know, we're primitive here on Beyond the Realms. We're uber primitive and, you know, whatever.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, we're talking about TOETAG Pictures filmography today. We are drinking Blackbeard Brew beer. Cheers.
What do you think? I like it.
Yeah, I really like it. You know, at first, you know, it was really good, but I think it gets better as you go along. It's got a strong bitter taste, but yeah,
the longer you watch,
it gets better as you go along. You know, watch more videos and it gets better. So, we have talked about so far, we'll go through them quickly, August Underground, Mortem, Red Centaur, and Penance. And that brings us up to...
We skipped this one.
The next film... Yeah, we just skip over it. The next film is The Murder Collection. And this one has some significance between us, actually.
Significance on many levels.
Yeah. Well, for those of you out there that don't know, myself and Crazy J are both in this film. And it's kind of how we met up and became friends in a way, right?
Inadvertently.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because...
Should I quickly explain it?
Yeah, yeah.
HORRORSBALL, early show. He was a really big early supporter of the show.
Yep.
Somewhat, pretty much early on. Earlier in my shows, I was on a different angle in my room, and I have this Murder Collection poster up behind me. And the funny thing is, you would comment early on some of the early videos, and I think something like maybe we were talking, and he said something like, maybe I'm on that. I might be. You say I might be.
My signature
might be on that poster,
yeah.
which it's not. But
yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, what poster? And he's like, the Murder Collection poster, and I'm like, you know, my slow unoiled wheels in my head started turning. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And because I'd seen your videos before and whatnot, and I'm like, what is he? You know, he looks familiar. And you know, I just don't put two and two together very well. Apparently, I was never good at math, and realized that he is in fact in Murder Collection. But long story short, funny thing, and I wasn't just bullshitting him. My favorite snippet, would you call it?
Yeah.
The
segment, whatever. Yeah.
In this film, and honest to God, is his segment, and I love that. And that's
I axe murder a bitch.
Yeah, this really was my favorite segment, and yeah, that's how we met, and basically here we are today.
Yeah.
Good friends. So TOETAG literally brought us together in this film, and
it did.
Honestly, you know, amazing performance. If you've never seen it. Yeah,
it's, you know, I have to definitely kind of be biased on this because I am in it and well, not because I'm in it, because of the memories I have from being a part of this, getting to make it, getting to go to Pittsburgh, spend over a weekend with TOETAG making my segment of this film, and then getting to go back for the after party with the entire cast and crew. So of course I've got different feelings, but overall, looking at this, stepping back and looking at it, I enjoy this film anyway because I like how it's, you know, it's different. Say it's kind of like a modern day take on Faces of Death. It's kind of how I've looked at it. You know, it's basically fake,
Fred would say that.
Real death scenes, you know, and I think it's very effective. I really love the autopsy scene in this.
That's a great one.
And one thing that was really awesome about that is when me and Crazy was over in Pittsburgh, we actually got to sit and watch Jeremy make this. Like, we sat for a whole evening, like literally over 6 hours, and just watched him paint and sculpt and make this thing. It was fucking amazing. And then to actually see it in the film and how real, like even much more real it became afterwards. That's what I mean. It's hard for me to give a different opinion on this because it's so but it's always a special place in my heart with this film. I love it anyway, regardless, despite everything. It's still, I really like how they laid this out. I think it was, you know, it's kind of like the August Underground because it's all real with video. It's all no budget, but it's different at the same time.
And I think anytime you have something like an anthology, like the ABCs of Death or VHS, there's going to be some misses. I think there are some misses on this. Yeah. Personally, but like you said, the style, what it was, almost to me, it has an overall Asian feel to it.
Yeah.
Just in that, like, it's something that you maybe would have seen, like, in the underground. Again, kind of like the guinea pig stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he did a really good job at doing that. It's something that you would have found on VHS. You pop it in.
Exactly.
It has that, like you said, Faces of Death, snuff vibe to it.
Yeah.
And it, again, even whether or not you like every segment, it has an authenticity to it. You know, like the camera in the store. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It has a real authenticity. And not this, I'm not, like, you know, I'm not stroking him here, but my second favorite, really, I told you this when we first started talking, was the one with Crazy. I mean,
yeah,
my two favorites was the other one with Crazy, because I thought it was like real authentic, felt really, you know, real.
Well, the thing with Crazies too is a lot of people may not realize this is that was they really choreographed that. I'm kind of going candid here. That I got to be through that whole thing. You know, me and Crazy went over together, filmed our segments. They choreographed that out in TOETAG's offices that morning. It was like 20 degrees outside. It was very cold. We went outside, and Fred was expecting that to be multiple takes. They did that in one take. They nailed it in one take, and it's open-ended. It's some of it's ad-libbed, but the overall premise of it and hitting certain cues was very choreographed, and it had to be right on, man. And everybody just really nailed their marks on that, and it's amazing that they did hit that in one take. And I think the reason why it feels so authentic was because they did do it in one take. They didn't have to like go back and think like, well, we're doing another take. Maybe I should say this again. It would have lost it. Yeah, it would have lost it, and they nailed it in one take. And I think it's very effective, man. I mean, I love that one, and the beheading in it is so not in that one, but the later segment, such a real awesome beheading in that, and that's all a testament to Cruise's effects.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, fun movie, good movie. Next up is Maskhead, which to me, this is probably my least favorite TOETAG film.
It's the only TOETAG film I've only seen once.
Really?
Not just because I'm like, I don't want to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just haven't.
I've watched it a couple times. I mean, there's things of it that I like. I like Damien's performance. The guy that goes on, which we'll talk about here in a minute. I like his performance. I like Mike Witherell's performance. I love the character here. How it's definitely like Cenobite,
the look of it,
Hellraiser, yeah. And the end scene is cool. The death scene with the 2x4, stuff like that. But there are scenes in this where it kind of lost me, like the girl dancing with she's doing the weird makeup and the clownish. Like there's just scenes in this where I don't feel that the script was developed enough, maybe. You know what I mean? Like certain parts of it. You know, like I think the overall concept is really cool, but it seems like they could have added maybe a little bit more to the meat of the script.
Yeah, there's some issues with it. I think it's has the most faults of any of their film. I do like the strangeness of it, the overall strange feel to the film. But yeah, I agree. It's from a technical perspective, from a I don't want to say plot, but yeah, there's definitely issues with the film. Yeah,
I mean the plot's good, but there's just those portions where it's like that. It feels like they could have kind of done something else more with it than just kind of. Because I really like Shelby in this, and the two lead Shelby and they're really good in it. The killer's really good. I love the killer. Damien's good. I mean, there's a lot of good elements to this. Mary Short is good in this too. Everybody's really good, but it's just, certain things about it could have been worked out. But, yeah, I mean, still a good film, but probably my least favorite TOETAG film. It's definitely worth checking out if you're a TOETAG fan.
And I like I said, I haven't revisited it. Yeah. I mean, we were just talking earlier tonight about films that you rewatch and you may, maybe I will grow to,
Especially if you watch one, then if it's a couple years later, you can totally feel different about it. Especially if you've seen more of their stuff.
If you are a TOETAG fan, though, you should definitely.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, you got to check that one out. So last but not least is one that I do not have my physical copy, which I gave it away to somebody who had never seen it before. So I was spreading the sickness, as they say, right? But I do have this original. Promotional card here, and their last film that they have put out so far is Celetursica. And man, you just gotta love that artwork if you're into old school horror films, especially Italian. That's definitely Italian.
Almost giallo.
Yes. And to me, I'm going to say this right off the bat, to me, this is the most well-rounded and overall best toe tag film, I think. For me, it is. It's my favorite toe tag film, and I think that they've really spread their wings with this film. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say, but it really is, man. I mean, they really spread their wings with this. They went more character-driven, a lot more dialogue than they've ever done. But they still have those elements you're like, that's fucking toe tag, man. You know what I mean?
It's my favorite toe tag movie.
Yeah, it is mine too.
With actually Reds Tower being my close second.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's my favorite. Yeah, it's just...
I mean, it's just a great film. And, you know, this is another one that, yeah, I could say I'm biased on. I was there on the set. I helped out a little bit on DP for a couple days. But
such a suck-up.
It's, yeah, well, you know, it kind of helps out being friend now. But honestly, you know, Crazy worked on this film. Crazy did all the sound on this film, which is really fucking awesome. Yes.
That's what they call him.
Yeah. One shot Madeline?
One shot.
But yeah, I mean, honestly though, man, this film is just really awesome. I like the family dynamic.
The story.
And, oh man, the story's great. I mean, you know, a lot of comparisons. You have to say this. Death Dream comes to mind when you see. I mean, anybody that's seen this film is going to say
which
that.
Is a movie we love.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I love Death Dream. But I never took this film as a knockoff that because it's totally different. It's set in modern times and it's very contemporary in its execution. You know, it's. I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of like an update of that in a way, like a Death Dream type. I mean, even though it's its totally own film,
it's different enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider
and I tell you, man, the end scene of this, when Damien is walking down the hallway, the way he's moving and the way the score is right there. I mean, man, it almost gives me chills. It's so fucking like I think that's one of Toe Tag's shining moments right there. Right. Man. I mean, it's such great direction, such perfect acting.
Maybe their
score,
best moment.
Everything, yeah. I mean, everything comes together so well in that scene, man. I mean, I can't. You know, I've always told Fred I wish there was some way they could get this score and sell the score because the score is fucking great to this movie, man. I mean, it's a really, really good score that I would listen to over and over again. I just really love it. But
it was just a quick anecdote.
Yeah.
One time Shelby asked me, "What's your favorite toe tag?" And I said this, and she almost seemed surprised.
Really?
Like, I don't know what the typical reaction is to this film.
Yeah.
Maybe with all the years or her talking to fans, but she just seems like surprised. So I don't know. I guess maybe they are used to hearing like the August Underground.
Oh, I'm sure.
But she asked me, and I said that's my favorite. And,
yeah.
You know.
Mine too. I mean, it really is. I just think that they've really showed how far they can go. And you know, one thing I want to add in, we only have a couple minutes here, but I love it that Toe Tag has taken their time. It's been 3 years since they've made this film. They've taken their time, though. They could, it's just like Fred has said before, and it's easy to see, they could easily make a film on the cheap. They've showed that. I mean, they could make a film for $300 that people would talk about
every year.
They really could. But I'm glad that they're not just staying with that, and they're trying to get a really good budget together for their next film, Pittsburgh Body Removal, which I've heard a little bit about the script, and you know it's going to be amazing. I'm glad that they're taking their time and they're doing it right, and you know they're wanting to progress instead of just building it, taking the easy route and building a career of what they could.
They're ready to.
Yeah,
they want to take.
They
want
to keep going, and you know the thing is with Toe Tag, I think the reason why they've persevered and they've stayed so strong and just continue to grow is they're very integrated with the crowd. You know, they're very into their crowd, very in with their fans. They're out at these shows, and they make you feel like you're part of the family.
Accessible.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
accessible.
Exactly. And that's why they've thrived and they've continued to grow. So, yeah, guys, we're almost out of time here. But if you've never seen any Toe Tags films, definitely check them out. Start with August Underground.
And don't just go. But obviously, August Underground is what you hear the most.
Yeah.
There's much more to Toe Tag than August Underground, which what we just talked about.
Yeah. If you're more, go Red Tower, Cell Turcica, more into the cinematic stuff or whatever. So yeah, we're out of time, guys. But Headbanger, thanks for joining once again.
Awesome.
It's great doing horrors beyond the horrors ball.
Support Toe Tag, man.
Yes. So thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Later.